Hello everyone and welcome to this short video demo about BESSER, an open source low-code platform to facilitate and accelerate the development and deployment of smart software. My name is Ivan Alfonso and let's start. In this video we are going to design, to develop and to deploy a web application of a library system with a conversational agent responding to frequently asked questions. So the first step is to go to the web modeling editor in your browser, which is available at editor.besser-perl.org. So you can go, it's open, it's accessible. So then we can create here a project. So we can create a new project, assign a name, demo Besser, for example. You can write the name of an owner of the project, the description. And when you create a Besser project, you will have different kind of models to describe different parts of your application, of your smart software. But for this demo, we are going to focus on class diagram to specify the structure of the database, the graphical user interface of the web application, of course, and the agents to model the conversational agent. So let's create the project. As I mentioned, you can modify different kind of models. So we are going to start with the class diagram. So to create class diagrams, very easy. You can just drag and drop the different elements in from the palette. You can also create associations between the classes and define the multiplicities of the ends. You can create attributes for each class, add methods, etc. Or even you can use this Besser UML assistant to do a little bit of to do by modeling. So you can basically communicate, or you can communicate or interact with this agent in natural language, and the agent will create automatically the model for you. But for the demo, we have already prepared a template or the model, so you can directly open this library template, and you will get this example, this library model composed by three classes, some relationship between the classes, library, author, and book, some attributes for each class, and also uh, some of these classes has methods. For example, this has a method to decrease the stock of the books in the library. One enumeration and one OCL constraints, because that's also something that you can define in Bezier in these class diagrams. For example, here we are limiting the number of pages of the book, of each book. Then we can create the agent. To create the agent again, to create agents in Bezier, we use an extension of the state machine language. So you can here create states, you can create transitions, very similar to the way to how we do with the class diagram. Then you can define what happened inside the state, if it will be a text reply, or if it will be an automatic reply from an LLM, or even you can execute Python code. So again, we have defined. You can use here also the UML assistant, but we have defined already the model, which is this one, and you can also load this model, which is composed of some states, 5 states, and some transitions between the states, basically to simulate a conversation and interaction between the user and the chatbot that will be deployed in the web application. Then, as we have the class diagram and the agent, we can define now the graphical user interface. So here we have a no-code editor where you can drag and drop different elements. You can design your user interface. You can also, for example, when you are going to create charts or tables, you can define the data source, which you have the list of classes that you have defined in the class diagram. But Besser also have a very nice feature, very nice functionality to automatically generate a graphical user interface taking as input the class diagram. So let's use it. And I will get immediately this graphical user interface automatically. So what we get here is something very similar to a panel administration panel where we have one page for each class defined in the class diagram, one for book, one for library, one for author, with a table with the attributes defined and also with the relationships. And also I have here a button to execute each method defined for the class. For example, we have here the decrease stock book method. So now what I want to do is to include or to add the agent. So I'm creating now a column, and inside the column I will just drag and drop the agent element, and I will choose the agent diagram that I have created before. So now we have here the agent, the conversational agent that we are going to deploy. So to deploy the application, Besser, what Besser do is to take these models and they generate the code, but all of this code is published or pushed in a GitHub repository. So that's why we have to connect Besser to our GitHub account. So now I'm connected, and then I can deploy my application. Uh, I will put here just a repository name. My app could be whatever, and click and create and publish. We have to wait some seconds here. Okay, now we have the repository created in in my GitHub account, or in your GitHub account you will get your repository. We can very fast quickly check what is created there. So this is the repository created by Besser. We use Docker Compose because we deploy the application using containers. We have a folder with the front end code. We used React and TypeScript for the front end. For the backend, we used SQL Alchemy for the database, but also Fast API for the REST API. And for the agent, we use the BESSER Agentic framework. Okay, so now that we have the code, we can click here to deploy the application. To deploy the application, we use render. So you will need to create also an account, but which is free, so it's okay. We have to put here just a demo library, a name for the blueprint, and then we can immediately deploy. So as this is the free tier of render, you don't have to pay anything, but then we will use some servers with limited resources, so we will have to wait here for some minutes. So let's wait. So finally, the application is deployed, the web application. We are going to resources, then we can access the front end, and here we have the URL to access the web application. So we have here then the same graphical user interface that we have defined. We can do the CRUD operations over each entity. We can create an author. Let's create something very quickly. We can add here also some data. We don't have books because we will create some books later. Then we can also create a library. Whatever here, it's not important. Telephones, and we can save it. So you see here the table with the register that we are creating. We can just finally create a book, but it's not important. We can test the OCL constraint. If you remember, we have an OCL constraint that limit the number of pages that a book can have can has. So let's say 5 pages. I should get an error or something like that. if I try to create this book, just I will select some other fields. I will choose the library and the authors. If I click save, um, I get the error message. The pages should be something else. Let's put 100. And if I save the book, it's okay. So we can test also the method decrease stock. But first I have to select the book in the table, and then I click the method. Let's decrease the stock in 50. So I can check here, it's reduced in 50. So it's working. And finally, we can check the conversational legend that we have here. So if we ask, for example, for the opening hours, what are the opening hours of the library? We get the reply that we have defined in the agent model. So that's all for this demo. You can access, remember, you can access the BESSER editor and test all of this that we have done. Thank you so much.